What is going on, everyone? Badger here. Be sure to like and sub, and let's get into this. It can get pretty depressing covering the modern gaming, the modern anything, really. Anything they do to our franchises or the video games. But every once in a while, you get some stories and some events that happen that really just fill you with hope for the future. I know, a dangerous prospect. Obviously, everything going on with Saber and their CEO, Matthew Karch, and their creative director, they have been saying all the base things, all the simple things about gameplay loops and getting the heart rate up. And they actually like gamers as opposed to wanting to make t-shirts about how we're bigots. And the other big event was Thomas Mahler, who was correcting someone who's a little bit of stolen valor. They were trying to make it seem like they worked on a game which he was the director for, and he didn't know who they were. And in the process of just politely clarifying who worked on what, Alyssa Mercanti, of course, came out and called him a dickhead, and he gave her a schooling on how video games are made, how good video games are made, and that earned him all the adulation. So, of course, there was the article about Alyssa, and that immediately earned him the praise of every based CEO in the video game industry, anyone trying to actually make money, not kissing ass for ESG scores or diversity quotas, or certainly no one that is pushing
the message
or making video games
for a modern gaming audience.
Right, so you get the idea. Because here, this was Odd Tales founder Tim Soret, applauds Moon Studio CEO Thomas Mahler, not that Mahler, the other Mahler. And this brings us to this article where it appears, I don't even know why I brought this up, but take a shout out to Bounding for bringing this to my attention. He is getting questions, he being Thomas Mahler, is getting questions about how exactly he feels. Is DEI being forced into games? What his thoughts are on. So let's just go and get into this. He has a very nice interaction after this with Madam Savvy. So shout out to the 199. Here we go. So here's Thomas Mahler. I'm still every now and then getting questions on whether we force DEI stuff into the games we are making. So let me make it clear once and for all. And this is obviously Moon Studios only. Other studios cannot say what he is about to say. Absolutely not. I find that entire approach perverted. I am an artist. I would rather quit than have someone else tell me how we should do our art. That would make a mockery out of everything I believe in. I mean, that statement right there. This is, by the way, why Bounding didn't even choose to summarize it, because what he says here is so based and on point that it can't be truncated or shortened. It just must be delivered in full. I've been very much outspoken on how I feel about consulting, i.e. the Sweet Baby Inc. and narrative consulting grift. I've been very much outspoken on how I feel about consulting, and I still feel very strongly that if people haven't lived the process and don't, if people haven't lived the process and don't have to think about the issues at hand 24/7, they will always deliver worse work than those who do. When it comes to the stories we're telling, I always approach it from a human angle first and foremost, and let the story tell me where it needs to go. If it tickles me to have a gay character in our story and I feel like that character could be fascinating, then I will push for that. But I would never make a character gay simply because some outside party told me that it's hip to do so and that we might face backlash if we don't. Art fundamentally doesn't work that way. Holy fucking shit, tell that to Kim Belair, who suggested to people to take out the marketing teams for coffee to explain to them the marketing disaster, i.e. every single hat campaign we saw against the devs for Wukong, Black Myth, Wukong, and everything else. Anyone who doesn't bend the knee, pay the money to the Sweet Baby Inc. or the Black Girl Gamers or Weird Ghosts or whatever fucking grift organization has continued forward. He says, everyone has stories inside of them that are based on the experiences that they went through in their lives. And to me, what elevates art beyond just craft is when you've reflected enough to know who you are and then let those stories out, because those experiences that you lived through are most likely experiences that other people can relate to, that will speak to them in a profound manner because they're real. Ori and the Blind Forest, in many ways, was about me reflecting on what it was like to see my father dying of cancer when I was 10 and being grateful to my mom. Wisps, on the other hand, was written when we all started having kids in the studio and imagining what it would be like to have a kid with a disability. I wrote the first draft of no rest for the wicked quite some time ago, and that also came from a very specific place. I hope that clarifies it for everybody. I had to learn the hard way what it means to be an artist, and I'd never let anyone take that away from me. And if only Hollywood and many other studios in the comic industry and everyone else had the balls, the cojones, the strength of character, the virtue, I don't care what you want to call it, the decency and the honor to simply have that stance to say, no, I'm not doing this because a committee tells me to, or because we have a quota we have to hit, or because 50% need to be from an underrepresented group, or some inane, banal, intrinsic quality that no one gives a shit about. Holy hell. Anyway, really refreshing. You can see Savi here echoing what I'm saying. Thank you for sharing your words. I was talking to someone who was supposed to be a creative director who insisted he didn't think people could write authentic stories without having some lived experience. It was very strange, and I thought, my goodness, how can characters ever be created then by this person? I don't know who imposed these restrictions on people, or the idea that someone can't write a type of character without some consultant. The free market determines success, but I really do believe every single person is capable of telling a story. Yeah, most of these consultants, the Sweet Baby Inks, don't know a goddamn thing about what they're. Just because Kim Belair is black does not know anything, does not make her an expert on the black American black person experience, does not give her any sort of expertise into the black male experience. So the whole idea is a grift. They're fucking Canadians, all right? What do they know about anything in America? Sorry, my Canadians. I would not have an American company go over there and talk about moose hunting or some dumb shit. It just doesn't make any sense. It's a grift. It's a grift. The fun thing is they call us grifters. That is the actual grift, because they don't even know or believe in what they're doing. Just compromise other people's art, which is what Mahler was talking about. The bogus sensitivity readers and concept of globalization is stifling creatives. Someone will always be offended by art, even the most innocent of images, and it is Saturday. I really thought by 2024 things would be sad. I really thought by 2024 things would be better than 2009, not worse. It isn't even enough for the type who demand censorship and checkboxes to just have forced diversity. They won't even let you tell something that they deem problematic. It is crazy how they go off about things they don't like instead of realizing fiction is just that, fiction, a glorious playground of fantasy and make-believe. You see Mahler responds to Savvy saying, how did Shakespeare write all these fascinating female characters in? Boggles the mind. Then their last, they bring up J.K. J.K. Rowling. I didn't know she was a 15-year-old orphan boy who could perform magic. The list goes on for incredible writers throughout history. I feel so sorry for anyone who has been told they couldn't write something or create a story. I hope they find their confidence one day on their balls. Thinking that only a woman, this is Thomas Mahler's last reply here, thinking that only a woman can write an interesting female character is just, I don't like to speak that way online, but it's naive at best and ignorant at worst. If a male writer can write female characters such as Beatrice or Lady Macbeth, to me, that's case closed. And that also used to go, if a gay actor can play a straight actor, then vice versa is true. People can pretend to be murderers. I mean, how much accuracy do we really need in the event? Actors used to be actors. Artists used to be artists. And unfortunately, like Elon Musk has posted many times, DEI kills art. Oh boy. So let me know what you think of this. Like I said, the Thomas Mahlers of the world, the Savis, but the Matthew Karches of Saber, who are actually in positions of power, boy, did they actually fill me with hope that we might actually have a video game, some form of an industry going forward, definitely as we reform it, maybe take it back to basics. Either way, let me know what you think of all this. Be sure to like, share, and sub. If you have done that, thank you. If you're going to do that, thank you.
Well, bye.